Okay, everybody. We should be live now. Hopefully it's working better. I'm trying to see. There we go. Perfect. Okay. I think we are good to go now. So, here's what I'm going to do. Hopefully this makes sense to everybody. All right. So I'm going to start us off. Each time I go live, I am going to start us off with three free readings. Okay. So that being said, once we've done the 3 free readings, once people start donating, then we can start doing more free readings after I do the paid ones. Because I feel like that's fair to everyone, and it has more interactivity as well. So let's get started and see what we can do here. I'll just wait for a second while we're waiting for people to come on here. Again, I'm sorry about that. Not much I can do. I'm trying to get new settings going, and my camera for some reason had to change all of its settings, so yeah, I'll probably look that up. I wasn't aware that was going to be an issue until about 10 minutes before I started to get started, turning the camera on, testing everything out, and yeah, so I'll get everything fixed hopefully by tomorrow. But yeah. How are you doing? Kepra. Yes, Kepra. That's what it was. But that's kind of what I'm going to do here. So if you guys want to do the paid, other people get the paid readings. If you don't want to do the paid, then you'll get less information or less, I guess, personal time with me doing it that way. I feel like that makes sense. And so it's up to you guys what you would want to do. I feel like my rates are pretty reasonable, and plus you'll support the channel and helping other people get their stuff going too. I got it. Awesome. Awesome. Well, you can't say I'm not trying, because at least I'm getting the names right. So far, you're the first one. But how was your weekend, Kepra? Do this here. Mine was pretty good, honestly speaking. I'm just getting some stuff finalized on my little iPad here. But yeah, mine was pretty good. Let's open this drawer up. There we go. Okay, and I'm gonna be right back. Need a little bit of water, so, well, not a little bit. You went to Texas? Awesome. Awesome. Man, that must, where do you live now? Like, not the city, but the state. What state do you live in now? And we have just Chantel here. All right. Alrighty. That's awesome, though. Texas. I don't think I've ever been to Texas. I'll be right back. Okay. Oh, you just donated. Thank you so much. Yeah, bro. Let me move stuff over. Okay, so hey there, Ivory, how you doing? Again, guys, sorry about all that hullabaloo there. Okay, perfect. So far we'll have 5 free readings for people. So we start off with 3, and then we'll go up from there. But I'm going to do Kepra's... So what's your question, Kepra? And thank you again for the donation. I'll put you on the list here. Awesome, I'm glad to hear you're doing good. And Louisiana, that's where they have, let's see, I believe they have food there. If I'm really vague, you guys won't think I don't know what I'm talking about. So they have food there, there's some water. How will the move to Texas be for you? That is a good question. Let's look at this and see what we can come up with here. How will the... Oh, let me do this here. Let's go... there we go, and let's do... that one. Perfect. The best food. Okay. Okay. Sounds a little biased, Kepra, but I'll allow it. There we go. Let's see. There we go. Okay, so let's get the cards out here and let's look at that. So we're going to use our new, kind of new deck. Let's see what we can find for Kepra. All right. One more shuffle here. Well, no, let's do a couple more. What will the move to Texas be like for Kepra? What will the move to Texas be like for Kepra? Alrighty. I'll show you the cards here. But I'm just laying them down for me first, and then I'm going to do an overall energy card. So overall energy for Kepra and Texas. All right. Overall energy. Hey, Angelino. How's it going? And hey there, Jason. Okay. So I'm going to write down some of the people on the free list so far. We'll do... Let's have Ivory. Then we're going to have Angelino. Hopefully it's all going well, Angelino. And then we're going to have Jason. Okay. We have 2 more spots left. before we need to do another payment and get that going back up again. Okay, so here's what I've got for you, Kepra. So we have the High Priestess. Okay, this one is in reverse. We have the Queen of Wands in reverse. We have the Seven of Pentacles. We have Judgment. And we have the Fool in reverse. Followed by Door to Spirit, also in reverse, which to me is very, very similar to the High Priestess that's in reverse. Okay. So, let's do this. How long have you known your boyfriend for, Kepra? I know it sounds like a personal question. We don't shy away from those here, though. How long would you say you've known this person for? Let's see here. Let's see. Hopefully. Yes, thank you, Chantel. That works perfect. And you're using chess pieces. A year and some months. Okay. So that's a good amount of time. That is a good amount of time. But something here in the cards, Kepra, is when I see Queen of Wands in reverse, okay, with the High Priestess in reverse, and then I see Seven of Pentacles right here, okay, I feel like that's your energy in this situation, Seven of Pentacles. You're wanting to plant yourself, you're wanting to grow roots, but you're wanting to do it in a different location, new sights to see, new things to experience, that kind of thing. That's what I'm getting here. But then we have Judgment and we have the Fool card in reverse. Okay? Judgment is a card, it's kind of like a card of purpose or a card of a calling. It can be referring to a higher calling, but it can also just be referring to a calling in general. Something, ultimately, I feel like we have free will in this life. I do. But some things I feel like are going to happen no matter what. Like that's something that just kind of happens. There's certain things that we just can't avoid. Certain lessons we come here to learn. The Fool in reverse, Door to Spirit in reverse, because that was the overall energy here. So I'm just going to say this, because the way this reading is looking is it could be like maybe things are moving too quickly. I know you said you've known him for a year and some months. I get that. Moving in with somebody or moving to Texas, I don't know if you're moving in with them necessarily. That's a big change. That's a big change, right? I would really make sure you know this person pretty well. It sounds like you do. But it feels like maybe we're rushing into something, or maybe something's going on that way, because the Fool in reverse, it's like not new beginnings the way we would want them to be. Maybe we're leaving behind some unfinished business, or maybe we're using this as a chance to escape from something that we should be doing as a possibility, because with the Queen of Wands in reverse, it's like passions can be high, but maybe logical thinking can be out the window at times, right? That's what I'm feeling here. There's only two cards that are upright, and that's the Seven of Pentacles, which I feel like is your energy, and Judgment, which again I also feel like is your energy. You're wanting something. You're wanting something here to make things better, to make things work for you, but it just feels like we're not facing something. It feels like yeah. So I'll just say this. You wanted to know what the move to Texas is going to be like. It looks like there's going to be some obstacles on your move there. I would just say make sure you're doing it for the right reason, right? And focus. If something comes up or if things seem too good to be true, take that. Walk away from this and say, I haven't invested so much as to do this. In my personal opinion, again, I don't know if you're moving in with them or I don't know what you're doing. Things change when you live together. And it's important, hopefully you've known this person and you've had some time living with them before, because uprooting your life wherever you're at to go to be with some person, again, even if you have your own house, to me it sounds like hopefully there's something else there in Texas. Hopefully there's a job opportunity for you. Hopefully you already have friends in Texas. Hopefully there's something there that if shit hits the fan, you can get out of Dodge, so to speak. I just don't want you to be in a situation where you're there and you can't come back, kind of a thing. But I feel like your intentions are good, and I'm not necessarily feeling like their intentions are bad, but I'm getting a sense of really think it through before you do this. That's going to be the main thing I say here, because it just seems like it needs more time, or maybe we need to vet the person a little bit longer to see where they're at. But I get it. Relationships are fun. They're all pretty colors and shit. I don't know. But when they're new, they're fun. And in this situation, you could possibly be, hopefully you're living with your best friend, and it's not a situation where you find things out about this person because you're living with them now. Because visiting them, completely different from living with them. And likewise, if we just meet someone and we're talking to them on the internet, very, very different from meeting them, let alone living with them. And I'm not saying that for you, Kepra, but just for everyone else out there. So just be careful, because it feels like when I see Door to Spirit in reverse, we could be ignoring signs that maybe this might not be a good idea for us at this point in time. But maybe you're moving a while from now, right? Yeah, you probably wished you didn't ask me the question, but I'm going to tell you what I see. And it just looks like if you do it, there's going to be obstacles. Pretty big ones, honestly. And I'm not sure why the Fool would be in reverse, because it's like you don't get the start that you want. You don't get the clean start. And I don't know why that one is necessarily in reverse. But just listen and make sure you're doing things that you're wanting to do. Make sure this is your choice. Yeah. So that's it. That's what I got for you. So yeah, hopefully that gives you some insight there, Kepra. And yeah, I wish you the best no matter what you decide to do. Feel free to come back on here and shoot a message, okay? But I do wish you the best with this. Okay. Okay. All right, you're very welcome, Kepra. Very, very welcome. And thank you for letting me do that for you. Okay, so let's go to this one here. So let's do some of the free list readings here. So I'm going to go like this. Let me do that. All right. Yeah, Ivory, you're up. So let's do that here. Give me 1 second when I change this. There we go. All right, let's do 2 cards for Ivory. Okie dokie here. 2 cards for Ivory, General for 6 months. Okay. What's going to be the energy for Ivory in 6 months? What are we looking at here? What will the energy be like for Ivory in 6 months? Alrighty, let's do this. Okay. All right, so the next 6 months, it looks like we're going to be hopefully getting ourselves out of situations that we maybe had a part in putting ourselves in. I see the 8 of Swords in reverse. That to me is saying that we're lifting ourselves out of a state of suffering. But we need to focus on the ways that we suffer. And I know that sounds really weird to say that, but there's ways of suffering which are helpful, and they help our spirit grow, and they help us kind of evolve as a person, and then we stay stuck in that state. And we kind of become victimized, or we kind of think that other people are out to get us. There can be like a harshness to reality with this. And we need to step out of that reality. We need to step out of that and realize that there are good people out there. But sometimes we give our energy to people that are not good for us. And that's just the way it is. That does happen. But we can heal from that. So it's not too big of an issue. But there are good people out there too. All right. A lot of people will say, it's rare for me to find good people. Why am I not finding them? Trauma. Trauma is the main reason. You're not attracting good people to yourself because you don't feel like you deserve that kind of company, or you don't know what it is that you're missing to be able to connect to those kinds of people. A lot of times when you've healed from trauma, you can look at other people and you can say, okay, you're someone who's going to be toxic for me. You're someone who's going to be, okay, maybe not the best influence, but you can start to see people and their character for who they are, instead of always hoping that that person is the most innocent person you've ever met ever, and now you're in a relationship with them. Okay, thank you so much, Mary, because that's not going to be helpful, Then I get this card. This is the Chariot, which I could see this one here. The Chariot is an interesting card because it's talking about fast-moving energy, right? And it's talking about things just happening, things just going, things just moving. So regardless of if you like it or not, things are going to be changing, things are going to be moving. And where this is upright, it's you embracing a part of your growth where you're saying, okay, I matter, my decisions matter, what I do matters, and how I present myself matters. Even though I know you're that person, I feel like you're someone who has pride, you're someone who has those things. But I mean presenting yourself in a way where you believe the way you present yourself too. There's Ivory who presents herself to the world, and then there's Ivory when you're alone, and it feels like those two are kind of separate at this point in time. It feels to me like there's going to be more of a personal empowerment in the next 6 months, more of kind of understanding where you're at, where you're going, and why, instead of just kind of drifting through life. It feels like we have a purpose, or we have a sense of like, okay, this is what I need to do. So I see it as being a good reading, but there's still that part where we need to stop unnecessary suffering. And yeah, things are moving. Awesome. Perfect. And we need to stop. We need to stop waiting for the other shoe to drop. We need to stop waiting for things to, hit a climax, hit the end of the road, so to speak. And we need to focus more on just allowing ourselves to enjoy life for what it is right now, and realize there's time for healing and there's time to be in the present moment too. When I talk about healing, I don't mean shut everything off. Go live out in a cabin for 3 months. I'm talking about just take a little bit of time each day to sort of process older emotions that you've had and let yourself move through those and reparent yourself, which basically means think of moments that have happened in your childhood. Start with small ones, okay, where you felt alone or you felt abandoned or you felt hurt, and imagine yourself going back to you at those times, and what would you say to that child, okay? That helps to rewrite the programming in our brain. What would you say? How would you comfort that younger version of yourself? Because that's going to be the way where we make those connections. So it's looking good, Ivory. Yeah, it's looking good. Just keep on keeping on there, and I think you'll be all right. Okay, Angelino. Hopefully you're still there, my friend. Angelino or Jason. Let me put it that way. Angelino or Jason or Jano. You're welcome, Ivory. Hopefully that gives some insight to you. You're very welcome, my friend. Alrighty. You know what? As long as it's still light outside, I think I'll let some of that in. Well, pat yourself on the back, Ivory. You're the one making that possible. Methinks. Let me do this here. There we go. Alrighty. Okay, Angelino or Let's see here. Angelino or Jason, are you guys there? If not, I'm okay with that. We can just do some talking here, so hold on 1 second as I get things ready to go. One more time. Hold on. Okay, anyone else that's watching now, would you guys want a free reading? Because we got room for, I believe, two more people. If you guys want to step up and claim a free 2-card reading, we can do that for you. If you want more details, you can pay for more details, just so you guys are aware that that option is out there. Always playing with the lights. Okay. I think that'll work for the most part. All right, Jeremy, what's your question? Oh, drink a little water too, you guys. Oh. Keep seeing stuff moving out of the corner of my eye, but it's just windy as hell. Okay. Hey Annie, how you doing? Jeremy, I'm not sure. You can choose which one. Give me a question. Let's do it that way. I usually don't choose for people for the free readings, especially. So if you can choose a question, we can do it. We can do your question. Okay. Well, Annie, I can put you on the free reading list for 2 cards. If you'd like, you'd be the last person until someone else pays. So choose one question for 2 cards, Annie, when it's your turn. You'll probably be up after Jeremy. Hopefully. All right, Jeremy. Type your question, and we'll go from there. I'll give you another 30 seconds here because I'm wanting to move on to another person. Okay. All right, we'll skip over Jeremy then. Okay, so Annie, you're probably the only person here at this point in time. Do you have a question? We can do 2 cards on it. That's how it is, I guess. I think you're absolutely right, Chantel. Yeah, that's the way it is. Okay, let me do this here. No, I can't see anything you're saying, Jeremy. Try writing it again. Try posting it again. So Annie, are you that right there, you're wondering when your life is going to start, that's more of a timeline question. And again, this has to deal with you taking action and you taking initiative. You need to go out and see what's out there, right? And I understand there can be fear there, but I would say go out and see what's out there. If you want things to happen for you, they're not just going to fall in your lap. You have to work on healing yourself. You have to work on putting yourself in situations where you'll feel a little bit uncomfortable. If you want things to change, you have to change them. You have to look into that. I've got books I can recommend. I've got different things. There's some books down in the description that I would recommend, and there's some people on YouTube that can help you with this. But if you're wanting things to change, you have to focus on healing the trauma that you have. Because things aren't just going to start magically. You have to work on yourself. So that's going to be how I would answer that question. So just keep at it. Try working on yourself. If you need, I can give you resources. But you have to realize that it's you that needs to change in order for things to happen for you in your life. It's not just going to happen. You have to work at this. And it does take time. It does take effort. But it is very, very worth it, I promise. How are you doing, Raven Wind? How was your weekend, Raven? Okay. Awesome, you got some cleaning done. I was gonna get some cleaning done myself. I kinda did. Sort of. Okay, so, do you have a question, Raven? Because you are one of the members, so I'll give you your 2-card reading for you. If you have a question, we can look at that for you. Spring cleaning is getting done really late this year. At least you're doing it. At least you're doing spring cleaning. I need to do spring cleaning. I haven't had a lot of... I've had time. I haven't had a lot of energy to clean. That's the oldest one in the book, isn't it? It's kind of like, I could do it if I wanted to, but cleaning's just... It's not my favorite thing in the world. That's a good one. Let's look. Let's do a 2-carder and see what we can look at here. Let's see what we can find for Raven. What's your love life going to be like in 2 months? Or next month. Sorry, next month. What's your love life going to be like next month? Okay. So, we get the Star card right here. That's a good card. We get the Four of Cups in reverse. So I'm going to say, Raven, these two cards that I'm seeing right here, I'm going to say that next month could be a hopeful month. It could be a month where you're working towards something. Don't put too much effort into the love life thing. Like I feel like you're going to have some... I feel like there could be something coming next month. I do. But when I say don't put too much... Hey there, Elizabeth. When I say don't put too much effort in, what I mean is this. Don't try hard. Don't be a try hard in love. Let things flow and come to you, which I feel like you're getting into a more comfortable place there. It feels like you're getting better at manifesting and having things come to you and feeling grateful for those things and not feeling like you don't deserve them. It feels like you've been working through self-confidence issues, and it feels like you're doing a good job. There's still days that are difficult, but it looks good to me. This looks good to me. Just don't put too much focus on it. Does that make sense? Don't put too much focus on it. I do feel like next month could be a good month. Let things happen organically. Hey there, Neelam. I am doing good. I am doing good. So hopefully that makes sense, Raven. There you go, Raven. Perfect. It looks good, though. It looks good. I would say next month, so next month being June, would be kind of a warming up period. For some reason, I'm seeing it as like warming up. It feels like things are getting better. I'm in a place that I can't settle anymore. There you go. Perfect. Perfect. I love that. I love that. Because you don't need to settle. There's nothing, Jeremy. I'm not seeing anything on my end. No notifications. Yeah, so it's good. It's looking good, Raven. Yeah, just like I said, organically let things happen, which it sounds like you are. So honestly, that's a pretty good one because you do have the Star card, and that's a good card to have. Okay. Alrighty, so let me do this here. And, okay. Oh, shit. And also for you guys watching right now, if you guys are interested, I'm going to be, well, take a look at this. And you guys will see what I'm talking about. Here we go. Let's see, where is it? Right there. Hopefully you guys can read that. Yeah, the Star card is really good to have. It is a really good card to have. It's fast-moving energy. So basically, you guys, if you're wondering, I've just launched a Discord channel for people that register with the Share Even More Love tier, which is $6.99 a month. So if you guys are interested in that, you will have access to a Discord channel. and we can chat on places other than YouTube. I'm trying to get people going and get them signed up on this. But that is kind of where we're at there. So I'll just put that off there. Good. I'm glad you guys like that. Elizabeth's already part of that tier. So I think the Discord invite should have been sent out. I don't have any idea how this works. Yes, I do have a Discord. It's for members of the Share Even More Love tier, and I think you're already part of that, Elizabeth, if I'm not mistaken. You're the right one. I'm pretty sure. You're the I only have 2 tiers available now. I got rid of the other 2. And so, yeah, it goes from, instead of $2.99 a month, it's $6.99 a month. And I won't do questions, like psychic questions on there, but you guys can get to know me as more of a person versus a psychic or something like that. I'm eventually going to be doing some gaming stuff on there. Going to be doing some paranormal stuff. Going to be doing a bunch of different things. How are you doing there, 17? Let's see. Yeah, you are. Oh, where would the Discord invite go? I'm not sure. I might need to look at that. I'm going to be on, Elizabeth, I'm going to be on Wednesdays. I'm going to be on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday after this, and I can look more into it. I just barely set things up over the last couple of days. And so if it's not there yet, that should be going out. And I want to have more people, because right now, Elizabeth, it would just be you. Which is okay. Like, there's nothing wrong with that, but I want to get more people involved, because then we could start forming a little community, and I could eventually do classes and have you guys right there, because apparently you can do a lot of stuff. You can screen share, you can share different things. Yeah, I'm going to be doing paranormal. Basically what I'm wanting to do is this. I'm wanting to do, like, you know how people do video reviews? Like you see a clip. So I would go on to the Discord, and I would share with you guys videos that I found on the internet, and then we could discuss it, right? We could discuss it and have that be something that would be fun, like us focusing on that. Yes, Discord party chat, yes. So that's kind of what I'm thinking of doing. So that would be, I don't know, I think that'd be fun. So I'm just still focusing on that. Yes, Espeon is... I'm more of an Umbreon. I know Espeon's psychic, and I love that it's ESP, for the first 3 letters, because that's awesome. But yeah, Umbreon is my go-to. I love the night. I love to boogie. Awesome, Elizabeth. Awesome. I'm glad you think it sounds fun. Like I said, I'll still figure out how to get that out there. Yeah, the next person that pays, we can do some more readings, some more free readings. But until then, I'm just going to be talking with you guys. Or we can do a paid reading for the person who pays, and then we can do free readings for other people. But for right now, I'm just going to talk. So yeah, we'll do that. We can talk about tarot cards, different meanings, and then video games and stuff. I'm gonna start doing some gaming stuff. I still need to set everything up, but Haunter is a good one. Haunter is a good one, Elizabeth. I agree with that. I have to go for the fully evolved. Mega Gengar is probably my favorite of the Ghost line. I think, what is it? What's the one that's really, I'm looking forward to Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I think I'm going to get Violet. That sounds like but Scarlet, either one of them sounds nice. I like that they're choosing colors that are less common, Absolutely. Party Club Discord member. Absolutely. So yeah, we'll get that set up, and I'm still learning how to use it. So I'm going to kind of be an old man about it, but I think I'll be able to figure stuff out as I go along. I set everything up to the best of my ability, and it looks good, and I don't know how to send, well, I've got it right here. Awesome. Awesome, Elizabeth. I'm really sorry to hear that you're not feeling well. I'm really sorry to hear that. Here, let me do this here. Elizabeth, what's your Discord name? Oh, yeah. Yes. I'm playing, right now I'm playing Pokemon, okay, how do you say it? Supernova Sun and Penumbra Moon, I think is what it's called, or Umbra Moon. And it's basically Pokemon, Ultra Sun and, is it Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon? Anyway, it's a difficulty hack that makes every trainer like super hard to beat. And I'm telling you, you die on that thing. Oh my god, I die so many times. But it's cool because you get to look at different strategies that you can have, and eventually the trainers, like regular trainers. Yes, Elizabeth, if you want to do that, yeah, email me your Discord, and then I think I can add you. But it has you focus on different strategies, but eventually, like the Elite Four has level 100 legendaries and mega Pokemon and all that kind of stuff. And so it eventually gets crazy difficult. So I need to get back on that. Yeah, I should be able to add you, and you should be able to figure some stuff out here. And I'll start building this more and more as time goes on. Give me 1 second here, guys. Yeah, so other than that, that was kind of the thing that I was seeing on there was, like I said, I set up 2 Discord servers, and either one of them seems to me to be a good shot there towards at least getting a conversation moving. But yeah, $6.99 a month gets you guys access to the Discord, and then from there, we can talk about developing psychic abilities. We can talk about doing all sorts of stuff. So you guys let me know. And like I said, eventually I'm wanting to do a paranormal show, and that would just be on the Discord. The paranormal show would just be on the Discord. So we'll do that. I feel like I have a pretty good eye for what I feel like is good or what's fake. But it's a place where we can discuss ideas. That's kind of the whole thing. Hey Marie, how you doing? So hopefully that makes, that makes some sense there. Yeah, we're on Elizabeth here. Okay. Yeah, the Pokemon one, though, is fun. I like it. I just hate Sun and Moon for how it holds your hand. Pokemon Sun and Moon for how it holds your hand up until, like, the 4th eye. Like, it's literally you take 3 steps. There's like a new feature they have to talk about in great detail, I mean, they could make explaining pressing the A button 5 paragraphs long, because that's just what Pokemon does. But I then remind myself that adults shouldn't be playing Pokemon anyway, and then I calm the hell down because I'm judging a kid's game for not fitting my needs. Yeah, I realize how entitled it sounds when I say it out loud. Okay. Okay, completely understand. So now, okay, so Elizabeth, this is your Discord ID is this. Okay, I'm going to try doing this. I'm going to try figuring this out. Hold on. I think I got it. Arceus is cool. Arceus is one of my... Or Arceus. I don't know how the hell you say it. It's either Arceus or Arceus or up my arse or whatever. I don't know. But... Oh, there we go. It's right there. Okay. Nope, that's not what I want to do. Alright, give me just a second. How would I invite... Okay. I am such an old man. Oh, come on. How do I do this? Okay, how do I invite somebody? It says invite people, but it's telling me to give them a thing there. Alrighty. Okay, give me 1 second here as I look this up. So on Discord, Elizabeth, if I send you an invite to one Discord that I've created, do you see the other ones too? Do you see the other Discords, or how does that work? Because everything should be viewable, but I don't know if it's like... Oh, come on. Hey Elizabeth, to be honest with you, just the link you sent. Oh, okay, so I send you... Okay, I'll send you the link then. And just so you know, Elizabeth, in some ways I completely understand that, because that's how I've seen it for a while. So I view it as being something that can be very limiting, you know? But, yeah. Yeah, and I'm... Nope. What are we doing here? Okay. All right, I'll send you the invite. Let me do this. Okay. I'm just sharing this in my notes, and then I'll go from there. There we go. Perfect. Okay, let me go back here. Let me look at this. And let me do this here. Sorry guys, this is taking me a second. Chantel's talking about pancakes yet again. We're all about those pancakes. Gonna get some man cakes later. That's what we do here. Okay. And let's see. Alrighty. There we go. Okay, I sent them. We have a cat in a box. Okay, that should be sent, Elizabeth. I think I know what I'm doing now. Ugh, man. That holographic internet, I'm going to be like my dad is now with the internet. It's not... It's not easy, but I can do it. I can be technologically illiterate. Okay, sorry guys, this will be the last interruption here. Okay, so I've got one more, or wait, I think actually we need another person to come in and pay for other readings to happen. If not, though, we can just talk on the channel, kind of keep things moving, keep the ball rolling here, just so you guys can chat with me. Does anyone have any spiritually based questions, something that would benefit everyone, not just themselves? Because we could totally go into that, like what, let's see, what are signs of a psychic awakening? What about the shadow stuff? Oh, it can take some time to send. Okay. Okay. All right. I think Charlene, well, she was on the Share Even More plan too, but I think I accidentally kicked her off. So we'll see what happens there. Hopefully, she can be on there too. I'll admit, it's a little intimidating, at least for me to learn how to do the stuff like that, so. Hopefully, though, Elizabeth, you're feeling better now. Are you feeling okay now? Having faith in order for things to work, or else how do things work? Okay, that's a question. Okay, so a lot of this is just going to be me. Oh yeah, insomnia is not fun. I agree with that, Elizabeth. I agree with that. Insomnia is one of the most horrible things at times. It's just, you want to get a good sleep. You want to, but for some reason you just can't do it. So I feel like, in a broad sense, things working, faith working, I'm going to use terms like I feel like, or this is my opinion, this is a theory, because again, I'm not an authority on this. Anyone that claims to be, really look at their credentials, because I don't think there's anyone that's an expert spiritualist and knows everything. At least no one I've come in contact with yet. I think we all have bits and pieces, we all have ideas, we all have vague notions, and mine are just that, but what my biases are going to be different from what your biases are. So if what I'm saying resonates, great. If it doesn't, that's okay too. You guys are more than welcome to disagree. This is just what I feel is out there for me, personally. So, starting off, I'm going to say this. I feel like prayer or faith or whatever it happens to be works in the same way as, wanting something. I feel like would be along those lines. A lot of times we can, hold on a second. Okay, that was weird. Anyway, looking out my window and two people pulled up in trucks, grabbed a box I didn't know was by the mailbox, like it was empty, and just traded it in the back of their trucks. I have no idea. That was weird. Okay, anyway. So, having faith in manifesting script. Basically, I would just say this, if you guys are wanting to manifest with anything, the best thing to do is to focus on, like, do a grand ritual is what I always say. Do a grand ritual, make it something that you can smell, hear, taste, see, like you're really involved with it, you can touch it. Make it so that if you're imagining whatever it is, that you're fully putting your senses into it, and then send it off into the universe and let it go. That's the best advice I can give you. If you don't think it's going to work, you're going to keep inviting it back over and over again. And I've had people come on here and ask me, is this working? Is my manifesting working? If you have to come on here and ask, no, it's not working. You should be able to feel a sense of like release of psychic energy. And then once you feel that, just have faith that it will work. Do you have to think about moving your arm? No, you just do. But for some reason, we've lost sight of that when it comes to manifesting. We just do it. We just do it. But humans can second guess themselves out of anything. You know, we're full of doubts. We're full of all these different things. And because of that second guessing, it ruins a lot of trying to find something that we can manifest correctly. But does that make sense, Chantel? And if anyone else has input, you can go ahead and say, and we can talk about it. Okay. Teach them spiritual animals. That one's an interesting one, because I do recall I've seen a few spiritual animals. Let me see if it's sent, Elizabeth, and we can go from there. Let me see if it's sent on my end here. Okay. Yeah, it says it's sent at 7:11. Or no, that's when you sent me yours. Okay, so mine sent at 7:17 on my time, right? That's my time. But that's what it's saying here. Yeah, so animals I feel like can be an interesting source of spiritual information or inspiration. A lot of times the word spirit comes from, now I feel like I'm going to get the two mixed up. Anyway, inspiration and spirit, very, very similar, right? We're inspired, we're inspirited, we're inspired. And it's a really cool thing, actually. Inspiration to me, that flow state, that's when we're in the... Let's see, how would I put that? That's when we're in the flow the best with our psychic abilities, when we hit that spot. And like with music or singing or with dancing, you get in that flow and you kind of forget yourself. And that's sort of the spot that I'm talking about, when we can access that intuition. This isn't really a question, just more of a realization I came to. Let's see. That I am not suffering, and it is something that I experience. Not to downplay any pain, but I used to think if I was suffering, then I was also suffering itself. But rather I found I'm pure happiness inside. There you go, Elizabeth. There you go. And that's good. That's good. And a lot of times the suffering is the shovel that digs us out of something. Suffering in a lot of ways can teach us so much where comfort will not teach us, right? And suffering can be a harsh teacher, but it's one that has your best interest at heart. It's one that you're experiencing those lessons. And again, for those of you that have been through very, very tough situations, I'm not trying to downplay anything. I'm not trying to say what you've been through is, that's just the way it is. But it's what I've noticed. It's what I've seen in my own life. And again, these are my experiences. Hey there, Nina, how's it going? These are my experiences with it, so. But yeah, that's my whole thing. How was your weekend, Nina? We're back to the original time frame. Yeah, go for it, Nina. Go for it. I wouldn't be asking if I didn't want to know. I'm not one of those people that just says, hey, how was your weekend? And then it's a blank thing. If you guys want to talk, let's do it. Let's talk. Let's chat. But yeah, that's... Victorian era. Ah, yes. You're in. Awesome, Elizabeth. Perfect. Perfect. Ooh, Nina, I'm sorry to hear that. Hopefully, yeah, the eclipse was fascinating, wasn't it? Hopefully the cyst is okay. Do those clear up over time, or is that like a surgery that has to have them removed? But I'm sorry you have that. Doesn't sound too fun. Okay, so Elizabeth, you're on the Discord server. Okay, so I launched a Discord server. Everyone, and Nina. It's just going to be for the $6.99 tier. I'm doing that for a few reasons. But I'm going to be putting more content on the $6.99 tier for just the Discord only. We're going to be doing paranormal videos. We're going to talk about like paranormal experiences, different videos. I'm going to show you things that I think are the real deal, and you guys can tell me if you think someone's pulling a string or something. Basically, I want to do like paranormal videos, right? And I also want to do some game stuff. I need to get a capture card though. I've got something that's pretty capable of running some good games, but I need to get a capture card. And I'm probably just going to play the Switch anyway, nothing PC. Regardless, but yeah. So if you guys are wanting to do that, $6.99 a month. It's fine, I have medicine now. I don't know, I have to go to the docs again. They found it with the kidney infection on... Ooh, man, I'm sorry to hear that. I am sorry to hear that, Nina. That sounds really uncomfortable. But hopefully, yeah, you get feeling better soon. I'm actually going to see... Elizabeth said she was on there. Oh. Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay, so I got the Discord server paid for. It's a level 1 server. I think that's okay, you know, that's all right. But yeah, so like I said, check out the $6.99 a month. You'll get access to the Discord server. I will be playing video games eventually on there. I will be showing you more kind of my life on there, and then paranormal videos, answering spiritually based questions. I'm not going to do free readings on there. Unless I say I'm going to do them, don't ask for it, basically. Thank you so much, Nina. Thank you. You mentioned it the other day, and I was thinking, you know what? Or it was you and Jason, I think, that mentioned it the other day, and I was thinking, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to step that out. And yeah, I just feel like that's going to be a really good way for people to get something there. Okay, let me do this here. But basically, yeah, there we go. Just Chantel is posting that. So basically, it's just going to be more of my life, I guess, would be what this would focus on. So that's something that I'm going to do. And I'm going to get some things figured out. I'm eventually going to do classes, and I'll probably do them off of Discord if I can. But I need enough people to get signed up to make it so that it's, you know. Okay, anyway. So, Nina, did you have a question? Because you're one of the members. Do this here. Hold on. Join the fun, friends. Perfect. Perfect. Yeah, if we get more people on there, I'm thinking what I want to do is going to be, I'm hoping 10 people. I'm hoping everyone that's a member now, that's a regular member, can sign up for the 7 a month, because I promise you're going to get more out of that, and you still get the perks here on this channel as well, but you get access to the Discord, and you get access to, I had something else I was going to do too, I can't remember. But yeah. There is a boba emoji. My god, there's an emoji for everything. Boba sounds good. I have these drinks that I get at the store. They're called I think it's just called Aqua Kefir. Anyway, it's pomegranate flavor. It is my favorite thing. It's fizzy. It's got a little bit of sugar in it. It's not too bad, but it's good. Eat some good stuff. Okay, so you've never had boba, Nina? Even I've had boba, and I'm a shut-in reclusive hobbit. So Nina, that speaks volumes. Not trying to call you out or anything, but I am trying to call you out just a little bit. Gotta have that boba. Gotta bob that have. Oh. All right. Will you have 2 jobs that you can balance this summer? Dragon fruit kiwi sounds good. I tried a dragon fruit just by itself. Our stores got them in one summer a while back, and I'll tell you right now, tastes like nothing. Tastes like nothing. At least what I've had. The actual fruit itself, it's literally like you're drinking crunchy water. I mean, it did not taste like anything. You always wanted to try it, but never had it. Treat yourself, Nina. For the love of God. Get out there and treat yourself. I mean, it's been a while since I've had boba, but yeah. I guess I haven't found a good dragon fruit then, because I'm telling you right now, crunchy water. That's all it amounts to. All right, let's do this here. Yeah, that one's Yoshi. Hey, buddy. Yep, that one is Yoshi. My friend's mom is Thai, and she said they believe you will have prosperity if you eat dragon fruit. All I had was diarrhea, so I mean, prosperous in one way, but, you know, dehydrated in another, so. All right. Will Nina be able to balance 2 jobs this summer? All right, here's what I'm getting. I keep it real, Nina. I keep it real. Okay, so we have the Fountain card, and we have the Knight of Cups. Nope. You can't see them like that. I gotta hold them real dainty-like. Fountain card and the Knight of Cups. Or... this one right here, I always just see... what's his name? When I look at this one, if you guys have ever seen Arrested Development, this reminds me of Buster on Arrested Development. The way this guy's face is, it's kind of hard to see. But he kind of has that look. You know, he's up to shit. And Buster's one of my favorites in the show. I haven't seen the new ones yet. I need to watch the rest of I need to watch the Arrested Rest of Development. Cactus water is divine on the res. We drink it all the time. Oddly sweet. Ooh, that sounds good. That sounds really good. Love the art in that. I know, this one's cool. This one's really cool. So, Knight of Cups, the Fountain card, and the Fountain was upright. So, both of these cards are upright. I do feel like, yes. I'm not even going to say it's going to be a challenge. And normally I say that. Normally I temper things out. Knight of Cups just means don't be an extremist with it. Like, don't go so hard that you're burning yourself out, but that's going to be the only thing I'm seeing here. Let things flow and let things do that, because the Fountain card is about letting things flow and allowing yourself to be. The Knight of Cups is about going after what you want. Don't leave things to chance. As much as I would want your things, don't leave them to me, all right? Yeah. And I'm telling you right now, you don't want to do that. You don't want to. I can kill rocks. You guys don't even think they're alive. I can guarantee if you leave them in my care, they will die. Okay, so, but that's what I'm seeing there. So hopefully that makes sense. You and Yoshi have similar energy to me. Okay, he has a crooked tail. I have a crooked tail. He can't see that well. Neither can I. Okay, neither I. And he has gray fur on his, or he has gray fur all over his body on his back, and then white fur on his stomach. I'm the same. We both poop in a box. We do share some traits, Elizabeth. I can see why you would think that. I really can. What do you think, buddy? Are we similar? Yeah, we're pretty similar. Yes, Nina, it is positive. I see it as being a good little thing. I see it as being a nice little reading. So, yeah. Honestly speaking, I think that's going to be a really good time. And like I've been saying, when I get more comfortable on Discord, because I should be able to just, anyway. I'll have you guys email me your email address when you sign up for the $6.99 tier. I just want to show it again because I think it's a fun thing, and it took me a minute to create. And plus, I gotta leave for a second anyway. I'm coming right back, so hold on 1 second as I do this. let's do this here. I hope you guys like the play on words. It took me meowny moments to come up with. Yes, there is a Goomba in the background. And I got a couple of them actually. And I got me a chocolate popsicle thing. I never had dessert with dinner, so I'm having it now. Hey there, Robert. Yeah. Okay, Elizabeth, that's a very good question. What does it mean? What is spiritual bypassing? Maybe I know it by a different name, but I've never heard of spiritual bypassing. Oh, man. It was a beautiful moon, though. It was a beautiful moon, and my animals went nuts. Me included. Right, like my mood was off, and any chance I can get to blame anything on the moon, it is my ultimate scapegoat. And I did just that. Acted like an asshole the whole day and just said, "It's the moon, guys, it's the moon." And everyone just shook their head and said, "We understand. We understand." But you know, that's just me. And the moon, apparently. Oh. Ah. Oh. Roberto, thank you, my friend. Okay. Okay, let me move this over for a second. All right, Roberto just paid, so I'm going to go to that reading here. And Elizabeth, if you can think of how to change the wording there, I'm going to go like this. And let's go... let's see, how do I do this? That one, that one, that one, and there we go. You go ahead and ask your questions, Roberto, and we can go from there. No, Yoshi, not you. Oh, you have no question yet. Okay. Yeah, be thinking, Roberto. And we'll go from there. I'm just going to do this, and I'll just hide this for now and go like that, and we'll let you think of a question, okay? So Elizabeth said, let's see, distances them from both themselves and others. Some examples of spiritual bypassing include avoiding feelings of anger. Ah, okay. I got this. I know the answer. Okay. I got this. I'm completely lost. No, anger is a very powerful emotion. I do believe that okay. This was something I had a thought of. And maybe it's completely up in the night. Maybe I'm batshit crazy. Probably both. All right? But I feel like our emotions, the way we experience them now, they are not meant to be used for how we use them. I think our emotions were meant to be a psychic faculty, and I feel like the emotion of sadness, the emotion of anger, the emotion of happiness, I felt like all of these emotions had a psychic counterpart to them, and we were able to tune into these different states of being, these different emotions, to exhibit different kinds of powers or ability. Yoshi, stop it. No electric spaghetti. Nope. Nope. Yoshi, that doesn't mean keep going for it. Now, hold on a second. Okay, come on, buddy. Get up, come on. Play with your scratcher toy. Okay. So, anger is an emotion that can be used for creation, right? Anger is a fire. And what can fire do? Fire can burn things, and it takes up resources, and it does that, but fire can also make things. You can forge things with it. You can, bake things with it. You can do a ton of things with heat, with fire. Okay, and it's the same way with anger. If we let our anger out at people, if we let our inner fire out at people that don't deserve it, okay, and most people don't, then to me, we're doing ourselves a great disservice, and I feel like we're cutting ourselves off from our chakra power source. I feel like we're projecting our anger onto someone else, and we're using that as a way to not feel our own emotions. Anger can be a powerful emotion, and it's an emotion that when you feel it, it almost feels impossible to not focus on anything else other than absolute rage. And it can be kind of, some people view it as a dark emotion, but it can also be something that's very, very good. I bopped him with an empty water bottle to get his little butt to move. He won't do it. You gotta smack him on the little booty with the water bottle to get him to move there. But thank you, Becca. Oh, Roberto, those are beautiful names. Flapjack. Flapjack male and Bubble female. Okay, let's do that for Robert here. People have different ways of handling their own faith or their own church or whatever it happens to be. I always say if it works for you, right? Oh, awesome, Becca. Let me do this here, actually. I changed the positioning of my buttons. Okay. There we go. All right, so let's do this here. I hope it's after The Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack, because that's one of my favorites. Captain Tentacles. I need to watch more of that. Gosh, that was such a good show, and it was so gross at times. That was one of the grossest shows, but man, it was funny. And kind of creepy. All right, let's do this here. What do your cats have to share? Let's look at that for Roberto here. Let's see what we can come up with. And thanks for joining us, Roberto. All right, let's do a couple shuffles here. Yes, they are. My wife and I loved the show. I love that. I love that. And it was supposed to be for younger audiences, and everyone in my family loved it too. Everyone just fell in love with that show because it was good. It was, I don't know, just something about it. The way everything came together was just perfect. So we named them after the characters. Hold on, what's the other one's name? Oh, the whale Bubbles. Okay, that's right. Yep. Meteor showers are peak right now going into next week. Oh, shoot. That sounds kind of exciting, honestly. That blood moon was amazing. Or super, let's see. Was it a blood moon or the flower moon? Was it a super flower blood moon or was it a... There was all sorts of stuff there. Hold on. You gotta take a bite. Come on now. Okay. Yeah, we saw... It was, there's an upcoming strawberry moon. I take it. Okay, was it this one? Was it this? I'm always confused. It was pretty, and it was kind of eerie looking up and seeing the moon that way. But solar eclipses are the ones that really freak me out, because it's like, it's daytime, but wait, it's infinite twilight. Little creepy. Little creepy. Okay. What does Flapjack think of... Well, let me do this. What do your cats have to share? So let's look at Flapjack. All right, Elizabeth, take care. A little bit of... Oh man, I wish we could have seen more of the colors. For us, it just looked like a very dark garnet color. It was like a very, very dark orange. It was still pretty, but it looked like the moon was on fire. Or it was smoking and being a very bad influence. Don't do that. Very bad moon influence on everyone. Okay, so, Flapjack. Flapjack has a story. And Roberto, hopefully you can kind of guide me through this story a little bit as we go into this. I normally don't read animals very much. However, if you pick a cat up and you read its nipples, I can tell you right there, you can tell its age. Okay? Just gonna throw that one out there. So, we have the Hermit in reverse. We have the Tower. And we have the Six of Wands in reverse. Oh, Moonwater, that's a good one. That's always good to have. So we have the Hermit, the Tower, and the Six of Wands. Two of these are in reverse. So I'm going to say, was Flapjack adopted, or did Flapjack have something happen that was maybe traumatic? Because as I'm looking at this here, it's like I feel like there's a message here. Because the Hermit in reverse, I'm wondering if they were... Did you get them at a shelter? Or I'm wondering what they've been through. You can tell me, Roberto, and we can go from there, but... Because these cards coming up for Flapjack, that's interesting. We had strawberry ones of these, and they were much better. I'm just saying. Well, they're not bad. You rescued him as a kitten. Okay, so that would make sense. So, he was being abused. Okay, so that makes perfect sense. That's why we're getting these cards here. How old is Flapjack now? And I'm sorry to hear that. Ours was being abused too. Took him when he was 4 or 5 weeks. That's pretty young too. Our cat Yoshi was the same way. We found him when he was kind of on death's door. He's 14 now. Oh, wow. Wow. Okay. Does he exhibit signs of trauma for a cat? Is he easily anxious? Does he stick to the corners of the rooms? Does he have... Basically, is he an anxious cat? Because sometimes when they're traumatized at that age, like Yoshi back there, he can get pretty anxious, and he'll just scream for me. His eyes aren't that good, and so he can't see. But we found him in a similar situation. So they're beautiful, and they're amazing pets, but when they've been through that, they're kind of harder to deal with, and sometimes with another cat, they can be kind of aggressive. It really depends, though. It really does depend, but yeah. He was frail and crawled towards me. Yes, he sticks with me at all times. Yep, that's Yoshi with me. That is Yoshi with me. He's my little buddy. He's 7 now, I think. He has been getting better as far as confidence. Good, good. I love to hear that. And that's always a beautiful thing to see, that these animals can start out with a life that's so difficult, so hard for them, but then I love ice cream. Ben and Jerry's Cherry Garcia is really good. The Little Debbie ice cream that they just came out with. Yeah, Yoshi kind of acts that way too. Like I can pat him on his side like he's a horse, you know? Like I say good boy, and he just starts purring like crazy. He just starts purring. He might be a little Yosh. He's a good boy though. But yeah, so I would say, let me do this for you. Let's shuffle a little bit more and find out the overall energy that our little friend's going through now. Did Flapjack either have a vet appointment or do they have one coming up? Do you know, Robert? Because when I'm looking at this, it seems like things are going good, but I'm wondering if there's an appointment coming up that they know about or if they've just been through one. Let's do this and see what we can come up with here. That's good. Overall energy is the world. So you've given this cat a very good life and a very good upbringing. There's still a bond to the past due to his health. Okay. There's still a bond to his past, and there's still parts of him that it's harder for him to, yeah, he is back to normal. Good, good. Other than that, cats don't have a lot of stressors. They, you know, people coming over, things like that. As long as you let them feel loved and appreciated, which is what you're doing here, you're good. The World card, that's beautiful. That's a beautiful card to get. So overall energy is the World card. And I'm going to do bubbles. Here, I'm going to use the other deck. Well, no, I'll still use this deck. Hey there, Kelly. Okay, let's do this here. Let's look at Bubbles energy. Bubbles energy. Oh, flat baby. It's as good as it gets for me. Alright, let's do one more. One more here. I liked Adventure Time. I think that's always a fun one. Adventure Time, and I started watching. I couldn't find the last season, I don't think, or the last 2 seasons. I don't know how many there are. I started watching Steven Universe and fell in love with it. That show is awesome. I don't know, it's just art style, the music, the characters. Oh, I just love that show. But they didn't have all the episodes on the streaming platform I was on. I think you have to sign up to HBO Max to get Steven Universe, and I'm thinking that's a weird way to watch that show. But, yeah. I am doing good, Kelly. How was your weekend? Okay. Let's look at Bubbles energy. Well, let me go back up and... What does Bubbles have to share? Okay, and then let me do this, and let me draw an energy card for the overall energy of this reading. I like how you guys repurposed the name there, Roberto. That's the most perfect thing I've ever heard. Princess Bubblegum to just Bubbles. You're like, damn, it works. It works. I love it. Well, Yoshi is, you know, His name is after Yoshi from Mario, obviously. But we named him Yoshi, and then we discovered he loves fruit. And that's the whole thing that Yoshi loves too. In the Mario games. He goes insane. If I say it right now, I think his head will perk up. Nana! Yeah, see, look at that. We used to give him little bits of that when he was younger. We stopped doing it a long time ago because it's not good for his teeth. But, yeah. Nana! See, he's looking around. He knows. He knows. And he loves honeydew melon. And he loves basically like fruit. It's just the weirdest thing. And what was funny was, I'm gonna do your story. I'm gonna do your story here. But yeah, he loves it. It's his favorite. Okay, hold on here. Your grandmother's celebration of life is tomorrow. What's a celebration of life? Is that like a birthday? Or is that like an anniversary of something? Oh, yeah, I was doing this. It is. It's funny. He's a funny one. And I mean, just the fact that he likes fruit. Why would a cat like fruit? He's a funny one. Okay, so Bubbles energy. Okay, so did you adopt Bubbles as well? What's Bubbles' story? What's Bubbles' background here? Because I'm getting similar-ish energy to Bubbles' energy. And did they ever run away from home or a funeral? Okay, celebration of life. I like the way that sounds, Kelly. I wasn't sure what you meant exactly, so sorry if that kind of brought the mood down, but I like celebration of life. That sounds good. That does sound good. Hey there, Cassandra. This isn't bad. It's got like the little crumbly bits on it. Yeah. It's like a little crumbly boy. It's good though. It's a really good, I don't know who makes it. I think it's a Walmart brand, if I'm not mistaken. This is a really good crunchy chocolate ice cream bar. It's pretty tasty. Cassandra, Bubbles is a bangle she was given to us by my wife's boss as a gift. Wow. So, being a bangle, I imagine into everything. We took her in at 8 weeks. Okay. I do imagine, though, into everything. Bangles have tons and tons of energy. They're gorgeous cats, though. They are gorgeous cats. But yeah, I think they're the most energetic breed, if not one of the most energetic breeds. I would go for a ragdoll myself because that's how I roll. I tend to be a ragdoll as well, so. That. Maybe it sat in the freezer for too long because I swear to God I'm biting into a lot of ice crystals. It's still good though, but. I would imagine extreme patience would be par for the course. So I get these cards here for you, Robert. We get the Tower. Okay. Ace of Cups in reverse. And the Eight of Cups. So is it kind of like a you have a cat, your wife has a cat situation? And 3 times the vocalist. Oh. Drive me a little nuts, to be honest with you. Does this cat bond with one of you more than the other one? I'm going to say, do you have a cat and then your wife or someone else has this one? Because when I see the Tower, the Ace of Cups in reverse, and the Eight of Cups, I'm wondering if either this cat's very shy, or well, you said they're vocal, And it's funny because I got the 5th chakra Archangel Gabriel card, which is the throat chakra. I got that before. The rest of it, though, feels like I said, I don't know if there was like a running away from home or losing the cat for a minute or what happened here, but it looks like this cat is kind of either that or they're aloof. I'm not really sure what I'm seeing here. This one's harder to read than... I feel like Flapjack has more of a personality maybe, or more of a stronger character than Bubbles does, but Bubbles is a Bengal, so... Help me out here, Roberto. I need a life... what's it called? Life preserver. An inner tube. A life tube. The things that help you not drown. I need that. I'm probably not going to get it, but, you know, I could go for it. Roberto, I'm sorry to hear that, my friend. So Bubbles was close to, yeah. It sounds like you got two very awesome animals in your court here. And again, you're doing an incredible job with raising these little fur babies. Bubbles is abusive with me. Okay, maybe that could explain it a little bit. Because the Ace of Cups being in reverse, you're trying to forge a relationship. 8 of Cups is like them acting a way that's like, I don't know if I want that. I don't know what's going on here. So that would make sense. That would make sense. But regardless, it seems like you're treating both of these cats very well. Because it's just needing to, maybe if you can play with the Bubbles more, that might be helpful. But also, there's only so much you can do. And I know Bengals... They've always got the kitten energy, and that would drive me insane. They're always into stuff. But honestly speaking, I think they're happy. I do think they're happy, and they're leading the lives that cats should lead, which is to live in a safe space that's not dangerous, where they can feel protected. And I feel that you do that in plus some, Roberto. So it looks good to me, honestly. And then as I'm looking at this, I heard the word crown, like crown. So is Bubbles the obsessive, not abusive? Okay. Makes a little bit more sense. Autocorrect is a butch, you know what I mean? It's bad. I'm just kidding. But what I think is going on here is that, because I saw a crown, and I'm wondering if that refers to Bubbles. Would you say she's leader of the roost? Or who's the leader? Is it yeah, who's the leader? Let me look at something real quick here. Bubblegum acts as a queen. Okay, makes perfect sense. All right, so the crown is going to stay on. Are you going to be doing a teeth cleaning for them, or have you already done it, Robert? I'm wondering if they need a teeth cleaning, or maybe it's you that needs to go to the dentist. I say that as I'm eating chocolate. Of course I do. But that's what I'm seeing there. It feels like there's something to do with the teeth. Flapjack and you are the peasants. Sounds about right. That sounds about right. You are the... yeah, you're the peasants. You live to serve the queen. Or the princess in this case. Okay. Yeah, but cats... Okay, Roberto, they're not going to like it. They're not going to like it, but getting their teeth checked might be a good idea. I got to take this one in. Oh, and I don't like taking cats to the vet. I do not. Oh, they freak, and this one here freaks out like crazy. I'm going to be there. Well, I'm not going to be there with him when he's getting it done, but I'm going to be there right after. But cats are... he'll be wound up for weeks. And weeks and weeks. And then he finally gets back to normal. Anyway, cats are fun that way. They act like you're trying to kill them when you're trying to help them, and it's like, okay. But humans were the ones that thought that we could live peacefully with creatures that we don't speak the same language with. They understand, I think they understand the words like food, you know, they understand their names. And our cats understand the word no, that's for damn sure. But other than that, I really don't think they can quite comprehend the vocabulary that we have. I was trying to think of another word, but then I was thinking it sounded pompous, so I was like, I'll just do vocabulary. But that's what I'm seeing, Robert. This to me looks like a pretty good relationship with both of the cats, and you're lucky to have such beautiful creatures. Like, cats 100% are my favorite. They kind of pick and choose who they want to be around, and they have such a beautiful energy, such a beautiful soul. When you know how to bond with a cat, it's kind of like, I don't know, there's something beautiful about it. And then when they're on your lap and they're purring, I just love that. Okay, does that help answer that question for you, Roberto? And as I've been saying before, you guys, I started a Discord server. Well, anyone that's watching now, I'll do this, you guys can read it. So if you guys want to, consider supporting that, because there will be content that will only be seen there. I'll be doing some paranormal stuff. We'll be having discussions, video games, different things like that. So if that's something you guys feel like you want to do, go for it. It's not going to be like, we'll talk about spiritual things, of course. That's what this channel's focused on. But it's going to be more of me in my daily life, talking to you guys. I'm not going to be there as a reader or as a healer. I'm going to be there as someone that is just there, you know? So no putting on airs, no anything like that. You're just going to get me. All right. Sorry to disappoint you again, but that's kind of how we do things. So yeah, $7 a month. If that's something you guys are into, you can totally do that. And you also get priority in the chat, and you help support the channel. It's a win-win, win-win. All right. Okay. And thank you again, Robert, for the donation. Let's look on here. Okay. So, give me a second here. I didn't mean to do it on purpose, but this kind of looks like a chicken. You know, like with its legs out. It kind of looks like a chicken a little bit. A weird chicken. Hey, you said chicken dinner. That's really weird. Robert, you said chicken before before I started saying chicken. So you win the prize of getting to stay in the chat and be a wonderful person. You're already doing it, so it's not much of a prize, but it helps me. So that's what we do here. All right. Is Angelino or Jason there for the free? Actually, let me do this here. And if you guys have a spiritual question, you don't have to pay for those. Feel free to ask me spiritual questions. Basically, questions that benefit the group and not just yourself are going to be the ones that I can answer for free. This one. There we go. So, yeah. 2 whole chicken split down the middle. That is my favorite Starbucks drink. I'll take 2 whole chicken split down the middle. They look at you weird the first few times, but eventually they understand you just want a banana split in half with a little bit of ketchup on it. They get me down there, they really do. I had someone the other day, never met him before, they're at Starbucks, and I went up and I was talking to him, and they said, "You're Chance, right?" And I was thinking to myself, yeah. And I should have asked, I should have said, "How do you know my name? How the hell do you know my name?" I only come in here every day and order the same drink every time. How do you know my name? Okay, let's do this here. Yeah, if anyone has a topic, we can go from there, or I can pick a topic. You guys just let me know. All right, I don't think there's anyone here. Is there anyone in the chat that wants to have a free reading here? If not, that's okay. Like I said, we'll pick a topic and we'll talk about it. So let's do this one. Ooh, getting a little hot in here. Maybe I'll let the outside in. Okay, Cynthia, what's your question? Awesome, Cynthia. Advice for you and your person. Let's look at that. Any advice for Cynthia and her person? Okay. Any advice for Cynthia and her person? Boy, the air coming in through the window feels amazing. It smells really good outside too. Okay, so we have these two cards right here for Cynthia and her person. So I get the Queen of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords in reverse. Okay, so the Queen of Pentacles, the Knight of Swords in reverse. The Knight of Swords is an interesting one here. It shows someone running or kind of moving at a quick pace. When I see it in reverse, because the Knight of Swords can be someone who is like very logically based and someone who approaches things from a logical way. When I see it in reverse, though, we could be dealing with someone who can kind of fly off the handle or maybe doesn't have control over their emotions to a sufficient degree. So it could be someone who has difficulties either expressing emotions or difficulties putting their emotions in the right direction, I guess would be the way I would describe it. Could be a bit of an extremist when it comes to thinking. They have to think about thinking, you know, that whole thing. Or it could just be someone who worries a lot and maybe they don't take action to kind of solve their worries. So my advice for you and your person would be bring a grounded energy as much as you can, Cynthia. And this person feels like, to me, there's times where it's difficult to get along with anybody, but I would say bring a sense of grounded energy and a sense of understanding as much as you can. If you've been doing that, though, then it's their turn to start, doing some things for you or doing some things for the relationship in that way. But primarily, I would say grounded energy is going to be good. Both of you being on the same page, obviously, is going to be good. Communication needs to be key. In any relationship, without communication or without saying why you snapped at your person or without saying what's going on, it's not going to last. Resentments are going to build up. The relationship's going to fall apart. You have to be able to communicate things that happen when they happen. And if you can't in those moments, give it a couple hours, come back together, let your partner speak, then you speak, or vice versa. But let each other say what's going on. Be as calm as you can and try not to get in heated arguments. Good. Grounding is going to help with that. And the rough patch, I can understand that. If it feels like something worth sticking out, I'd say, go for it. But sometimes, like I said, that communication has to be there. And this person has to want to resolve issues that they have with you. For instance, and I don't know if this is your case, Cynthia, but if you guys get in a fight and he waits for you to come to him every time or come to them every time, that's not right. Hopefully this person, when you guys get in a fight, it's at least 50-50 on coming and talking to each other to sort things out, to get things squared away. Hopefully this person doesn't have you sleep alone at night feeling like they don't love you or they don't care about you over small and petty arguments. It's... Yeah. Ever since he got his job schedule changed, he lacks in communicating. That's good. He usually comes to you or you admit when you're wrong. That's good. That's a healthy way to do it. It's different when it's a schedule thing, right? That does make it kind of more tricky. And apologize when you're wrong. Good, Cynthia. So it sounds like, have you tried talking to him about this? The best thing to do is to talk to them and see where they're at. If they blow it off and act like it's no big deal, that's not a good sign because it means something to you. But where it's a scheduling thing, that can be difficult. If it is a scheduling thing, when they are not working, they should spend some of that time with you. There should be dates, there should be, or hanging out, at least. Yeah, he's off at 10:30 p.m. and you're already tired. Makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Because that's, that's a normal schedule, so. You've hardly talked. Okay. Hey there, Elizabeth. Well then, Cynthia, I think the best, communication has to be there. It has to. That has to be kind of a core tenet of what we're talking about here. If that's not something you're able to do, then the only thing I could think of is eventually like marriage counseling or couples counseling, depending on where you're at in that relationship. But there has to be that communication. And since things have changed, right, that does make it difficult. But bringing up your fears and your worries, I feel like that's something you should do. Yeah, there is. We got Hazel right here, and then we got Yoshi right up there. Eating again. He takes after his daddy. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking there. Communication always takes precedent over everything else. I've gotten stuck in that with my partner. I get busy working, I get a very busy schedule, and I let communication lapse a little bit, I let our closeness lapse a little bit, but then I realize the whole reason I'm doing what I'm doing is to make us a better life for us, right? And so then I come back to my senses and realize, okay, I need to spend time with the people in my life that I care about. But sometimes I lose sight of that. Maybe, hopefully in this case, that's kind of what's going on with this guy, and hopefully you can talk to him in a calm way and kind of say your concerns and your worries without feeling like you're going to get blown off. Because that's going to be where you'll know for sure kind of what's going on, is how he treats you when you bring up these issues. But that's the advice I got for you. They say the new iPhones are going to have USB-C charging. I hope so. I do not like the Lightning charger. I think it's a very, very weird Apple proprietary thing. It doesn't charge your phone faster. I don't see the point in it. Maybe that's just me, though. I don't know. Everything else they have takes USB-C. The MacBooks don't have a Lightning connector. The iPad doesn't have a Lightning connector. I think the AirPods and the AirPods Pros are the only ones that I can think of. Maybe the iPod Touch uses one too, I'm not sure. I wonder if I did this, if it would do anything. Okay. No, it won't do anything. Damn it. I got this little foldy stand thing, and it is nice, but it doesn't... I don't know. I need to find a use for it. I'll probably use it as an iPad holder. Okay. All right, any other questions or anyone watching now that wants to have a free reading? Okay. Alrighty. let's move on here. So let's talk about this. We were talking a little bit about the shadow or anger and how it can play a part in spiritual development, because it can. Anger is one of those things that, one of those emotions, not things, it's an emotion. It's one of those emotions that can consume like a fire anything in its wake. When we take that and we go inward with those emotions and we understand where they're coming from, we can start to diffuse the power from those emotions and understand what triggers are being hit to give us a reaction. That's why healing your wounds is so important, because if we have not come from a place of healing, someone can say or do something and it ruins our whole day, week, month, and it makes it really difficult for us to stabilize ourselves when we haven't healed in an emotional context. And I've said this before, and it's kind of something that's a lost concept now, and I don't think I'm ever going to come close to achieving this, and if one of you guys does, that's awesome. But there's these abilities called siddhis, right? And I've mentioned these a couple times on the channel, but basically it stands for psychic perfection, is the kind of the definition of it. And it's a really interesting topic, but basically you become more powerful through the act of absorbing. So you basically think of something, and by thinking of that thing, you become in tune with it. And you can have the energy of that thing in a way. You absorb it. You become part of it. Like you would, when you're in this state of consciousness and you're able to activate these siddhis, right? There's supposedly like 20-something different ones. And they range from, teleportation to flight to astral projection to shrinking and growing in size, a bunch of different crazy things. Materializing things like food or water or stuff like that. But when you're in that space, you imagine the sun, for instance. Let's say you imagine the sun and you were holding on to that imagery, you would then be able to focus on the whole of the universe. You could see the whole universe from a perspective like being really high up, so you could see the macrocosmicness of the universe. And I think you can see the micro world too, like germs, molecules, things like that. But there's so many ways that these abilities can develop. And once they start to develop, Buddha called, if I'm not mistaken, right? Let's see. Elizabeth says, that reminds me of how I asked Spirit for my gifts, like speaking to those who have passed on in astral stuff. It is interesting. It's, you're kind of given little snippets, and I kind of talk about it like this. Let me draw it for you, because I can show you what I'm talking about here. So, the average person's aura is going to look like this, okay? So let's do this here. You guys are going to be impressed with my drawing ability. I promise it's something to behold. All right, so we have this here. We have a little dude, okay? He's got a big old ass head right there. So, when we're talking about the aura, it's going to look like this for a lot of us. I'm going to use this color. It doesn't mean anything. It's just a color. So, bear with me on that. But here's what we're going to do. So, this is what a normal person's aura kind of looks like. So I'll go like this. The aura extends supposedly anywhere from like half an inch to the body, or a few centimeters from the body, to 3 feet, usually, okay? So we'll kind of draw this little dude's aura here. Actually, let me do it a little bit like this. Okay, and we're going to have parts like this. I'll show you guys kind of what I'm talking about here. And there's going to be different colors and stuff too, but I'm just using this as a variation so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So this is what the aura looks like for most people, okay? You'll notice there's some dark spots there too. And those are going to be the parts that need like work or that need... It's kind of like, imagine you're tuning up a car, right? A car. It's the car's aura. No. Imagine you're tuning up a car and you have to go in, you have to do all these things to make something work right. Hey, Madhu Manaj. So you go in, you're getting the car ready to go, and you notice that there's parts where the car isn't running as well as it should be, right? Like it says in the commercials, it should be able to hit 120 miles an hour, and you're only able to hit 90. I don't know why you need 120, but you're noticing that there's some places that you need improvement. So that's where these dark spots are, okay? So just like bodybuilding though, so what happens is when we start to strengthen the aura, is this starts to happen, okay? So the aura in most of us that are not spiritually inclined is going to be like what I just showed you. It's going to be very amorphous, it's going to be very mist-like, it's not going to have any structure to it. But then we start getting this when we start developing, okay? And you can kind of see that the aura sort of follows the body shape a little bit more. It's starting to have a firm definition to it. It's starting to be able to take form, right? And so you have these different traits of the aura, these different levels that it hits, okay? But then, here, I'll show you this one. So once you've reached a certain level of spiritual awareness or spiritual attunement, let's call it that, your aura starts to become something that's kind of like this. Supposedly. I'm going to use the word supposedly because I haven't done this myself. I don't know if I'll ever achieve this. Okay, and like I said, if you guys do, ring me up. Let's get you on here. Let's talk about it. But it's going to be like this. So you're going to have much more of a structure. Whereas before it was amorphous and it kind of could go everywhere and the energy could go everywhere. The ultimate expression of the aura is kind of in this, and I'll show you. Now this is 3D and this is not a religious symbol in the context that I'm doing it. This is the shape that this takes on. But when I show it to you, it's going to look like the Star of David. But, okay, so look at that right there. Now, why would I show you this? Okay, the upward triangle represents masculine energy. It represents the phallic symbol. It's masculine, okay? The downward triangle that's on there represents the feminine, and that is the divine feminine. When both of these things become in tune and become integrated and we reach the state of the superconscious mind, which is we take the conscious mind, the subconscious mind, and we eliminate the barrier between those two, and then we work on integrating the shadow and the light. We do all that kind of work. The aura becomes like this. It's called a Merkabah, okay? Now, so the Merkabah, and again, I'm going to use the words like supposedly, and I'm going to use words like that because I haven't done it myself, so. But supposedly you have the Merkabah here, and it's spelled like this, if I can remember right. I think it's spelled like that. The K isn't capitalized, but anyway, it's spelled Merkabah. You can't see the other part of the B there. It's there, it just didn't show up. But they say when someone reaches this level of, let's call it enlightenment, they reach this level of spiritual development, their aura, instead of being like 3 feet at most from the body, maybe 9 feet in someone who's very spiritually aware, it becomes 300 miles is what they've said. And so, I mean, that's a pretty big difference. So people, spiritually aware people, would be able to feel your energy when you were really flexing it. They'd be able to feel it from 300 miles away because you're putting off that much of a signal. It's like you become a super radio tower, right? And you're able to take that and you're able to use those abilities. Now, Buddha, hopefully you guys are finding this interesting. Let me know in the chat if you guys are liking this. But Buddha had something to say about this, and it's sort of similar to what I'm talking about here. And it's developing these abilities, these siddhis, the Merkabah, the energy body, the rainbow body, the ascended masters. It's all that kind of stuff. But what was interesting was he talked about these abilities that you get on the road to enlightenment, and Buddha called these abilities the great distractions, right? And when Buddha did that, when he called these abilities the great distractions, what he meant is that as you get more and more spiritually proficient, you will be tempted into things that can like alter the physical world for you and kind of bring you back into the physical reality in some way, shape, or form. So in Buddha's mind, these gifts that I'm talking about, the siddhis, or the ability to manipulate reality in a very, very real way, like almost instantaneously, he said these were the great distractions. These were the things that would stop you from achieving enlightenment, because real enlightenment isn't about things moving. Real enlightenment isn't about things moving forward for yourself. It's about things moving forward as kind of a collective. It's about like becoming part of something bigger, not wanting that new car, right? That's showing a sign of attachment. There's nothing wrong with that. We live in a materialistic society. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. But there's a time and a place, right? And when you're achieving spiritual enlightenment, you don't want a Tesla. The two can't quite be hand in hand, if you know what I mean. So, but he did say the students on their way towards attaining enlightenment would go through those steps of like getting these incredible gifts. It could be physical flight, it could be teleportation, it could be materialization, whatever it happened to be. But if they stayed stuck on just this aspect, they wouldn't achieve anything higher in the spiritual realm. And doing that stuff sounds cool, but eventually you would want something more. You can only do something so many times to where it's not as fun or not as interesting anymore. And so that's kind of what Buddha was talking about, supposedly. There is a process, too. The rainbow body process is interesting. I've talked a little bit about this on the channel, but so there's been documentation of people in, I think it's India, Tibet, places around there. I could be completely wrong on the places, and if I am, I'm sorry. But there's the rainbow body, and there's been, from the government of these countries, there's been over 100,000 reported cases of people achieving rainbow body. Like they have it documented, that so-and-so achieved this, so-and-so achieved that. And it's these, usually it's monks, but this one person went to a monastery, like with monks and everything, when he knew one of the people was getting ready to pass on. This person was a devout Catholic, and he decides to go there to see what this rainbow body thing is all about, right? And so he gets to the monastery with the monks and everything, and he goes into the room, and there's the master, right? And I think at that point he's talking to his students, or he's doing something. The master is, not the guy that visited the church, the monastery. But as he's talking to them, he says, I'm getting ready to go. This will be my final lesson to you. This will be my final moments with you guys. And they said their goodbyes, and he sits there with the guy, and the guy apparently just closes his eyes. And when he closes his eyes, he wills himself to pass on. Right? So he just kind of in a meditative stance passes on right then and there. And the person who was this devout Catholic, when this other monk died, I don't know what to call it, a monk master, right? When he passed on, he noticed that when he died, he could feel like a sense of something. It wasn't like someone died and he was sad. When this person passed on, there was a sense of jubilation, and it's not because this was a horrible person. It's because this person achieved something within themselves, and on passing, they were radiating it out from themselves. And he said for a week in this monastery, he would look outside and he would see rainbows, he would hear this beautiful angelic music. I mean, he said it was gorgeous. It was absolutely beautiful. And he had this feeling of being happier than he's ever been in his life. And when this person passed on, it's like he achieved such a high state that other people around him started to feel that too. But that's not even the craziest part. It gets much, much more crazy. So, the same guy who's there to talk about this process, I'll have to see if I can find pictures of this. To an extent, I can't find full pictures, and it's really difficult on Google to find this kind of stuff. But what happens when you achieve rainbow body is that, let's say you have this scenario here. We're going to go back to using our Stickman McGee, all right? He is, he's a very lovely stickman, but let's say Stickman McGee is really, really old, okay? Let's say he's got wrinkles and he's got little, he's got wrinkles. What do old people have? Wrinkles, flappy arm skin, they need supplements. I don't know. Anyway, let's say this person's really, really old, and he was like in his 80s or 90s when he passed. But what was interesting was they put him in a room, okay? And on the first day after the person had passed on, they keep their people out. On the first day the person passed on, he noticed there wasn't any flies around this person who'd passed on. He noticed there wasn't anything like that. And instead of looking like the person was dead and decaying, he actually appeared to be getting younger looking. So he passes on and his skin appears to be getting tighter and firmer and like it has its color coming back to it. And he looks like he's just getting younger, like he's sleeping and becoming younger kind of a thing. And each progressive day that this goes on, not only is he looking like he's younger, he's shrinking in size. He goes from being his full height, I can't remember how tall he was, to being 3 inches tall, supposedly, and then they just turn into ash. And the body just evaporates, showing that there is no need for a physical body anymore in like the reincarnation process. The person has achieved something that is the epitome of the reincarnation process, so the body isn't needed anymore, so that turning into ash is like definitive of like, boom, it's done. And so to me it sounds similar. I'm wondering if like that's how you get guides, right? There are these people, because I feel like guides were people once as well, and I feel like they hit a certain stage of enlightenment, and then it's time for them to learn on a different plane, because guides, in my opinion, they're not omniscient. Spirit guides do not know everything. What's the point? What's the point of living life or of having anything if you know everything? No, they're learning things as we're learning things, but they're learning it from a higher perspective. So the lessons they have to learn are probably going to be very, very different from the ones we would have to learn. I still feel like there's lessons, though. I do. That seems to be how the universe works, is through lessons. So I would imagine it's very similar. Interesting process, right? The fact that it's been documented so many times by the government in their countries and stuff like that, it's interesting stuff. It is interesting stuff. And yeah, I don't know. It's I'd love to see it for myself. It'd be both mortifying and also like, like it would be a moment of like, I don't know what I would choose. Would I be happy? Would I be sad? Someone passing in front of me, even if I didn't know them that well, it'd be kind of traumatic. But then if there was this feeling of like that kind of energy, I may want to experience that just to see what that would feel like, because a jubilation like that doesn't happen very often. So it's interesting. But anyway, all of that, take it with a grain of salt. It's theory. I'm still learning stuff myself. I don't believe anything to be true unless I've experienced it myself. However, I mean, certain things, I'll take people's words for it, but I'm not going to believe that that's definitively what happens. That's it, the end, finito. Because then I feel like I'm locking myself into like a religious framework where it's like, oh, I can only believe that if other people believe that, and that's it. It's like, no, I'll look into it and then decide if that's something I want to keep with me or not. But I also want to be able to change my mind whenever I want to. I don't want to be locked into a way of thinking that, I outgrew 10 years ago, but I'm being stubborn and I'm sticking with it because I'm a little slow. You know what I mean? If evidence is pointing in a different direction, I will follow that evidence, but you know, these are interesting stories for right now anyway. So what'd you think of that, guys? Kind of a weird story, I'm sure. And I feel like there's more too. Like, yeah, I feel like there's a lot more we won't even know. Maybe when we've passed on, we'll finally have those moments of like, oh, you know, but that's why and I still do this. I'm still very, very guilty of this. I try not to take life too seriously. But hold on one second. Hey there, Pamela. If you would like, we can do a paid reading if you'd want to do that. If not, that's okay too. You don't feel obligated to do that. I think I'm going to be done with the free readings for tonight. But I'll be on tomorrow, and I'll be offering, as soon as I come on, which is 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, I'll have 3 free spots available. We're doing things a little bit differently now. There's 3 free spots available, and then depending on how much money is donated, there can be more and more free spots that become available. And they're 2 card readings instead of just the 1 card reading for the free spots. So it really just depends on how the community is doing. And then that depends on how many free readings I can give. I feel like that's fair, you know. But hopefully that makes sense to you, Pamela. Even a yes or no at this point, Pamela, I'd still charge the 5. So, yeah, that's kind of what I would do. Unless it's an absolute emergency, I'm not going to do it for free. And even then, if it's an absolute emergency, call 911 or get help in some other way. But if I can help in some way in that case, then yeah. But thank you, Pamela, for understanding. I appreciate that. Okay, well, I'm thinking that's going to be it for tonight. It seems like things have kind of hit a standstill here, so I will see you guys tomorrow, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard. Sorry about that. 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and yeah, come tune on in and enjoy the show. It's always interesting. I'll give it that much. So everyone take care. Good night, everybody, and I will see you guys tomorrow, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Take care, everyone. Toodaloo.